All right, welcome to part 3 of accessing and creating data structures. We've just got 3 topics to cover today, and they all have to do with combining data sets. So first, let's get set up by creating a library reference, and let's call it 3. And then it's going to reference this data folder. So we're just going to right-click it, go to Properties to get the file path, copy that, just paste it in here, save it, and run it to make sure it works. Go over here to Libraries, My Libraries, and we should see 3. Perfect. All right, so first thing we're going to do is concatenate data sets. So basically we're appending one data set to the bottom of another data set. And to do that, we will use a data statement. We are going to create a table in the work library called Concatenation. And all we need to do here is use a set statement and specify which 2 tables we want to combine. So here we're going to combine the class test 2 and class test 3 data sets. So these 2 right here. Just so you can see what they look like beforehand. It's a list of students and their test scores on 2 separate tests. All right, so we will say 3 dot class underscore test 2, and then 3 dot class underscore test 3. And then the first data set that you reference is going to be the data set which data is appended to. So it'll be on the top. And then you just need to come down here and hit run. So let's save it and run. This is our output data. So you can see we have 78 rows. Let's just see if that looks right. 38 on class test 2 and 40 on class test 3. So yeah, it looks like it worked. We'll just check the log real fast to make sure. Yep, no errors or warnings. So the next thing is we're going to merge some data sets 1 to 1, which basically means instead of adding the data set to the bottom of the first data set, you're going to add it onto the side of the data set. So basically we're appending missing variables. And what 1 to 1 means is we're going to go row by row and add data in the order that it's listed. So we'll use a data statement again, and we will create a table in the work library called 1 to 1. Then down here, instead of using the set statement, we're going to use the merge statement and then specify our data sets. So 3 dot class underscore birth date, and then 3 class underscore teachers. So this is our class birth date file. It has a list of all the students, their sex, age, height, weight, and then birth date. And then class teachers has a name of all the students and their grade and their respective teachers. So the reason these 2 data sets will work for 1-to-1 merge is it has the same number of observations and the exact same students are listed in the same order. So it should go through here and for Alfred, for example, it'll keep all of this data. So have Alfred and then the sex, age, height, weight, and birth date. And then just over to the right, it should append the grade 8 and the teacher Thomas. And then do that all the way down for all 19 observations. So we just need to type run, save it, and hit F3 to run. And then we'll go to our work.one-to-one output. Should have 19 observations, which it looks like we still do. And then all the way to the right, instead of it ending at birth date, we have the grade and teacher columns. And then the last thing is we're going to merge data sets one-to-many. And this is for if you had one teacher but multiple students, for example. You could create multiple entries for each teacher, so that way they could list their students out within their own individual observations. And the rows don't necessarily have to match up perfectly, like in the one-to-one merge. So in order to do this, we first have to sort our data sets that we want to merge by the variable that we want to merge them by. So we'll start with our first proc sort statement. Data is going to be 3 dot class underscore teachers. And we're going to create a new data set that is work dot teachers. And all this is saying is it's going to sort this data, and it's going to keep the same data, but the sorted data, and output it to work.teachers. We're going to sort this by the name variable or column. And we'll run it. And we'll do a second sort statement for our second table. The data will be 3 dot class underscore test 2. We're going to output it to work test 2. And we're going to sort this data set by name also. And then finally, for the actual merge portion, we're going to do another data statement. And we're going to put it in our work library and call it one-to-many. Then we're going to use a merge statement again. We're going to merge those two new data sets that we just created in our sort statements. So work dot test 2 and work dot teachers. We're going to merge these by name. And I'll show you what that looks like in a second. Then we're going to run it. So basically what we're doing is we're combining the class test 2 and the class teachers data sets. So class test 2 has 2 observations for each student. So we can see Judy, Judy, Barbara, Barbara, Luis, Luis. And it has it all the way down. And then our class teachers has each student and their respective teacher. So what we're trying to do is create a data set which looks like our test 2 data set, but will include the teacher in each observation. So let's go ahead and save this and run it and see if it works. So it looks like we have the same number of observations as our class underscore test 2 data set, which is good. And then you can see we have the teacher appended over here on the right side. All right. Well, that's it for part 3. Let me know if you guys have any questions or if I can explain anything a little bit better. And then part 4 will be coming out here soon. Thanks.